Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are cracking open a stack of sources that paint a truly dramatic picture of the future, specifically the year 2026. And this is for every enterprise brand out there fighting for digital visibility.
Right.
If you're a marketing leader, an SEO professional, or just trying to figure out where user traffic is going, you need to listen closely. The search landscape isn't just evolving.
No, not at all.
It is undergoing a fundamental transformation, all driven by artificial intelligence. And if you're still optimizing the way you were even 3 years ago, well, you are already operating on borrowed time.
That is the hard truth in these sources. And we have to be blunt about it. Traditional SEO, the kind that focused obsessively on those classic top 10 blue links,
Yeah, that's what everyone knows.
it's quickly becoming obsolete. The whole era of optimizing for a click is fading. The new reality is AI overviews, the generated responses from engines like Google.
And things like ChatGPT, Perplexity.
Exactly. They're answering user queries directly. They synthesize a bunch of sources and just give the user a complete authoritative result, often bypassing the need to click through to your website at all.
And that's the existential threat right there. The AI eliminates the middleman, the click. So our mission today is, it's critical. We need to unpack these specific, profound changes that are impacting enterprise visibility. We're going to synthesize the key trends that will dictate whether a brand establishes dominance or just facility becomes invisible in this new age of AI-powered search.
Yeah, we are fundamentally shifting the goalposts. We're moving from click optimization to presence optimization.
Okay, let's unpack this and start at the foundation. So the sources highlight this core shift, right? Away from old ranking algorithms and static keywords. If that's gone, what is the new backbone of search ranking?
It is entirely machine learning, and it's always on. The sources are absolutely clear on this. The algorithms in 2026, they are not relying on you hitting a certain keyword density. They're evaluating billions of data points in real time. They call it real-time understanding. And they do it to determine deep user intent, and then they adapt the results dynamically.
So what are they looking for?
They're looking closely at metrics like engagement signals, how long users actually dwell on a page, and the overall semantic coherence of your content.
Semantic coherence. Okay, that sounds like a much deeper, more holistic analysis than just, did they use the phrase 3 times? Can you break down what that means for our listener?
So think of it this way. Instead of recognizing the word bank as just a string of letters, these deep learning models are predicting if the user means a financial institution.
Or a riverbank.
Or a riverbank, or a place to store data. And it's based on the context of the whole query and the user's history. So they're predicting contextual relevance, not just matching isolated keywords. And, crucially, automated spam detection and quality checks. They aren't periodic events anymore.
Not like the old panda or penguin updates.
No, exactly. They are now continuous processes.
Wow. That continuous checking creates instant pressure. We saw a startling figure in the sources. 86% of SEO professionals are already using AI in their daily workflows.
86%.
That's not a forecast. That's today's reality. And it signals that if you don't adopt, you fall behind instantly.
It just speaks to the urgency. The rules have changed overnight, and the penalty for being slow is just irrelevance.
So if static keywords are fading, what is the proactive solution? This brings us to semantic SEO. What does that actually look like in practice for a big organization trying to signal authority?
Semantic SEO is about building authority, but not by volume. It's about mapping human knowledge in a really organized way. In practice, this means building what we call content clusters.
Content cluster.
You establish your core pillar pages. Think of this as like the main encyclopedia entry on a topic, which are then supported by tons of related subarticles that dive into the specifics.
So you aren't just writing 50 isolated articles about 50 different things. You're building a cohesive, interlocking web of expertise around one primary topic. And that structure is what the AI recognizes as authority.
That's it. That interconnected structure signals depth.
Yeah.
It signals authority to the search engines and aligns perfectly with how AI systems map and synthesize information. The goal is to cover the whole topical network so thoroughly that the AI knows you're the definitive source.
Even if the user's search phrase wasn't exactly what you wrote.
Precisely.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, and I think this is the core challenge for the next few years. The new battleground, generative engine optimization, or GEO.
Yes.
If the clicks are going away because the AI gives the answer up front, Where's the valuable real estate now?
The real estate is inside the answer box itself. Generative engine optimization means optimizing for visibility within those AI-generated responses. The AI overviews.
Right.
We know Google's AI overviews are appearing in, what, 15% plus of searches today? And that percentage is only going one way. It's going up. It could dominate informational results.
So if we can't optimize for click, we have to optimize for recognition. We need the AI to cite us.
That's the core thesis. And it forces a radical shift. You're moving from keyword-centric optimization to entity-based optimization.
Entity-based, okay.
Think of your brand not as a website, but as a well-documented, trustworthy institution, like a Wikipedia entry or a detailed professional profile. Entity optimization is the process of making sure your brand, your leadership, your products are all recognized as unique, verifiable, and trustworthy data points within the search engine's knowledge graphs.
That sounds highly technical. I mean, and a little abstract. How does a brand actually do that? How do you make an AI trust you enough to cite you?
You do it through structured data. It's absolutely essential. It's non-negotiable for enterprise visibility now.
So the code behind the page.
The code behind the page. Structured data through schema markups, so things like FAQ page, how-to, organization schema used consistently across your site. That's how you introduce yourself to the machine. This data defines the relationships between your products, your services, your authors. It helps the AI interpret meaning, not just raw text.
So it's not enough to be a good source. You have to explain to the AI in its own language exactly who you are, what you do, and who backs your claims. Which brings up the sticky issue of metrics. If clicks are declining, our traditional SEO metrics are kind of useless, right? How do we measure success and justify the investment?
You're absolutely right to challenge that. The old metrics are completely insufficient. The sources stress that brands have to shift immediately to tracking their share of voice in featured snippets and AI overviews.
Share of voice.
That's the new currency.
Yeah.
You need to know how often you are cited as the authoritative source within the AI's generated response, even if the user never clicks your link. That's the proof of your presence and your authority.
Let's talk about trust, because that ties directly into this entity idea. We're seeing a critical shift where branded search is carrying far more weight than high-volume non-brand queries.
Yes.
So if a user searches for best running shoes, that's non-brand. If they search for Nike Pegasus 40 price, that's branded. Why is that branded search suddenly so much more valuable to the AI?
Because branded search demonstrates two things that AI systems favor above everything else: clear intent and demonstrated trust.
Got it.
A user searching for your specific brand name has a significantly higher conversion potential, right? And when the AI sees that high intent and the trust that comes with naming a brand, it heavily favors those signals. So investing in brand awareness and reputation is no longer a soft marketing goal.
It's a hard-ranking signal.
It's a core hard-ranking visibility signal now.
That is a profound strategic shift. It means enterprises can and probably should focus their resources more profitably.
Precisely. The shift lets brands focus on more profitable, conversion-ready audiences instead of just chasing declining organic impressions from cold traffic. It's about quality over quantity.
Now let's look at local visibility. It's always been vital, but the sources suggest it's becoming hyper-localized. What does micro-market dominance mean for a brand with, say, hundreds of locations?
It means we're done trying to win for the entire city. That's too broad now. The goal has shifted from citywide ranking to dominating specific neighborhoods or districts. True micro-market dominance.
Wow.
And that requires incredible precision in your local content, making sure every location page and Google Business Profile reflects the specific community it serves.
So what are the crucial signals for local businesses in this environment? What should our listener be managing, like, daily?
The signals are getting more dynamic. We need to look past the total number of reviews. Review velocity and recency now outweigh the absolute count.
So a steady stream of new reviews is better.
It matters exponentially more than a high total collected over 10 years. And constant Google Business Profile activity posts, Q&As, updates, that's crucial for signaling an active, trustworthy operation to the AI.
That makes perfect sense. The AI rewards the living, breathing current business, not the static historical one. And if you run a multi-location enterprise, I'm guessing templated location pages are a death sentence.
A complete death sentence. If you have 50 storefronts, you need 50 sets of unique, locally relevant content, not just templated pages with a different address slapped on top. The AI will penalize that generic duplicated content.
This all highlights the need for authenticity, which the AI is clearly valuing everywhere. Let's talk about user experience, which leads us to Core Web Vitals 2.0. Is UX still just about page speed?
Speed is still foundational, yeah. But the second generation of Core Web Vitals goes much, much deeper. It places UX squarely at the heart of SEO. Beyond raw load speed, engines now assess perceived quality, accessibility, and even the emotional impact of the experience.
The emotional impact. Okay, I'm hung up on that. How does an algorithm, even a deep learning model, quantify happiness or frustration? Give me an example of what that looks like.
Think of it like this. You walk into a store, the line is long, the signs are confusing, the staff is slow. Your emotional reaction dictates if you shop there again.
Right.
AI models are now assessing the digital equivalent. They measure metrics like scroll depth, aggressive bouncing when users hit a navigation snag, rapid abandonment of checkout carts. It's an intelligent analysis of engagement and failure signals.
So if users are visibly frustrated, the AI detects that signal of poor emotional impact and instantly adjusts your ranking.
Instantly. That real-time analysis means performance issues affect your ranking signals immediately. You can't let your site degrade for even a few days without consequence.
And that intense focus on user completion leads us to the ultimate disruption, the agentic future. AI moving beyond answering questions to completing entire tasks. This sounds like a threat to the website itself, but maybe an opportunity.
It is a profound implication. Every enterprise leader has to grasp this. We're talking about AI agents that will search, compare products, synthesize reviews, and even transact on behalf of the user.
So the user just says, find me the best price on a blender, compare the warranty, and buy it from the most trusted source.
Exactly that.
The user might go from discovery to purchase without ever leaving the AI interface. They bypass our entire sales funnel.
That's it. Google's already testing these agentic capabilities. This changes how consumers discover and purchase, fundamentally. Visibility won't be enough. The data you provide, the AI, your schema, your product details, your entity profile, it must be transaction ready. And it has to be inherently trusted by the AI agent itself.
If the AI doesn't see you as a legitimate, reliable entity, you're just removed from consideration entirely.
You're out of the game.
So what does this all mean, practically speaking? We've outlined the threat diminishing returns from traditional SEO and the opportunity, which is establishing dominance through adaptation. Give us the concrete steps, the actionable roadmap for 2026. Where do we start tomorrow?
Okay, we've distilled this down to 4 critical action items, focusing on rebuilding your foundation for this AI era. First, you have to audit for semantic gaps.
Forget keyword ranking reports.
Forget them. Map your existing content against comprehensive topic clusters. Find where your coverage is thin. Build those pillar pages. Strengthen your internal linking and create that whole interconnected ecosystem of authority we talked about.
And second, the focus on the new real estate.
Right. Optimize relentlessly for AI overviews and featured snippets. Target high-volume keywords where snippets already appear. Create hyper-specific content that directly answers key questions. And critically, implement comprehensive schema markup site-wide. You have to start tracking share of voice as your main success metric here.
Step 3 is reinforcing that trust component that feeds the AI.
Strengthen entity and brand signals. Claim and meticulously optimize your Google business profile, your knowledge panel. Make sure your structured data clearly defines the relationships between your products, services, and the authoritative people in your company. You have to focus on becoming a recognized, trustworthy, and verifiable entity.
And finally, the shift in how you work and where you invest.
Invest in hybrid workflows and brand reputation. You have to shift budget toward branded search and brand awareness campaigns. Branded search carries higher conversion potential, and it's a core ranking signal now. Locally, focus on building review velocity and recency. And strategically, use AI tools for auditing and insights. But always ensure a human is crafting the compelling narratives and the emotional connection that the AI agents will ultimately recommend.
That human-AI synergy seems to be the key, doesn't it? This deep dive shows the shift is complete. It's no longer about optimizing for clicks on a list of links. It's about optimizing for knowledge graph presence and brand trust so the AI recommends you.
And that urgency cannot be overstated. The time to adapt is now. The enterprises that wait until their traffic reports show steep declines will find themselves years behind. It'll be too late.
And this transition means you get to focus on better, more qualified visitors. The sources suggest that by focusing on branded search and high-intent visitors, enterprises can focus on more profitable, conversion-ready audiences rather than chasing those declining impressions from cold traffic.
Which raises an important final question for you, the listener. If success is now defined by the quality of recognition and trust, not the quantity of traffic, is your 2026 planning fully shifted?
Right.
The question for you is whether your 2026 success metrics have fully shifted from measuring impressions to measuring demonstrated brand intent.
A critical metric shift that is essential for survival. Thank you for joining us on the deep dive. Now go apply this knowledge to your strategy.